Chief learning officers have to live day in and day out facing an unrelenting marketplace. And the seduction of that is you become reactionary. You forget your foundation because you're solving problems from the time you arrive in the office until the time you go. And it doesn't provide time for reflection and for really getting back to foundational principles. In the kind of speed and confusing world we live in, decisions, especially leadership decisions, all come down to judgment. And if you are in a reactionary mode and you haven't fed the foundation from which you make sound decisions in the flow of unrelenting demands, then you stumble. And that's what I see. So one of the challenges chief learning officers have, in my opinion, is first and foremost to stay grounded in their own foundational model. Each of us has to find a way to stay in touch with our authentic self. And that may mean journaling. It may mean keeping track of lessons learned. Sometimes failure is by far the best teacher available to you, but you've got to be ruthlessly honest with yourself about what's working and what's not working. Where have you stumbled? Where have you made a mistake? What can we learn from that? As opposed to simply being in denial and again being in a reactionary mode where we're simply putting out fires and moving quickly through the day. Developing great leaders, like developing a healthy individual or a conscious person, is a long-term proposition. And we don't live in a society that rewards long-term investments. And so to be a really great chief learning officer, you have to have the fortitude to know and have faith that by staying true to those foundational elements, you will get better long-term results than if you're, again, trying to create short-term payoffs to an investment. If you look at really successful CEOs, I mean successful CEOs over the long term, and especially when you look at people who've gone from one industry to another and have been able to take the same principles that worked in the aerospace industry and apply them in healthcare or in a vastly different industry, and there are examples of that, then you begin to see where this long-term strategy and long-term investment really does pay off. So that kind of a strategy is far more dependable than a short-term reactionary approach to growing a leader.